So, hey, my name is Chris, and this is like the official after stage interview on ISPO.com. And I have the honor to welcome a special guest, like keynote speaker and national coach of the German basketball team. It's Gordon Herbert. Thank you that you're here.
Thank you, nice to be here.
So I asked this question to everybody who's in our little cozy box here, and I know this year was very special. So how has this year, 2023, been so far for you?
No, it's been a real special year. Obviously one of the best years of my life. Winning the gold medal was real special, but even more so was the type of players, dealing with the type of players we had, the experience dealing with great human beings.
That is cool. So we talked a lot about basketball, and we saw a lot of movies on stage. So I was wondering, actually, because you're Canadian, right? So what is your favorite second sport?
Actually, my favorite sport's hockey.
Yeah?
My second sport's basketball.
Yeah, so this is really Canadian, right?
Yeah. So up to about 2 years ago, I actually watched more hockey than I did basketball.
Is that true?
Yeah. The last couple of years with the national team, I've had to watch a little bit more basketball. But with hockey, I could sit back and enjoy it and not analyze it. With basketball, you're always analyzing stuff.
I see.
So that's a big difference.
Yeah. So there's like more leisure time,
right.
Not so much business.
Right. Yeah.
I got that. So you're here in Germany at ISPO Munich, like it's the meeting and gathering of the entire sports business community globally. So you actually, normally I ask the people, how did they feel to be on that stage? But you were like kind of a life coach, you were like a bit of business coach actually. So let me rephrase the question a little bit. Do you consider, coaching people in life, giving their, a lot of good advices, takeaways they can use in their daily life as part of coaching?
No, I studied sports psychology, so I use that a lot. And, I think you learn a lot as a coach. You learn from your players, you learn from other coaches, and I've kind of developed a philosophy how to coach a national team with a vision and dealing with stuff. And I really believe in the one statement that the pressure cannot exceed the pleasure of the journey, and that's what we try to do with the national team.
That's a good mantra actually for life, I think. But I think, do you get like a coaching yourself actually, kind of?
No, I worked with a sports psychologist, Peter Jensen from Canada, which we kind of refined a lot of stuff about doing things, and I worked with him really closely. And I tried to bring him to Germany to join me with the German national team, but Canada would not let him go.
Okay. So, it's a pity.
And I worked with another coach, Ken Shields, in Canada, who's been kind of a mentor for me, a little bit older. He's really helped me in the last 20 years.
So you, proactively look for some support yourself?
Yeah, I think it's always good you have 2 or 3 people that you can refer to when things go wrong or you want to talk or get an opinion. I think it's always good. You don't need 7 or 8, but you need 2 or 3.
Well, speaking about opinion and referral points and stuff like that, so you're in the sports business a long time now. Actually, the entire sports business is listening to what we do here in this event. So if you have like a message for them, your message in one sentence, like in sports business, in the sports industry, what would it be for you? What would you like to tell the sports industry?
Our landscape is changing all the time. It doesn't matter if we're in business or sport or anything, we have to change with the times.
So, consider change,
Yeah, I think, you have to be creative. You have to be able to think outside the box.
Yeah.
And when you think outside the box and be creative, you can get a little bit ahead of time.
Okay, I see. Do you think like the sports business could be a little bit more creative right now? Do you think, or think there is space for improvement?
It's tough for me it's a tough question. I like to be around people who think outside the box.
It depends on sports industry, but also organizations like clubs and leagues and stuff like that. Sometimes I can feel that we have a lot of athletes here in the interview as well. So sometimes like structures are very old fashioned and stuff like that. You have like politics and discussions within the clubs.
I actually think Germany has an excellent infrastructure around basketball. The club's excellent compared to other countries.
Yeah.
I think it's for me, and people have all said this too, it's got the best infrastructure in Europe.
That is very good to hear. Thank you. Another question is actually, like after your World Cup success in Malina, so actually it was said, I read it online, that you would first go salmon fishing. So did you go, and how was it?
Yeah, I was in Finland for 2 weeks, and actually I went with my chainsaw and axe to the woods. Then I went to Canada, but I didn't go fishing. I wanted to, but I didn't go fishing. I spent time, I went to the Raptors camp for a week.
Okay.
And then I went up to see my mother up the Sunshine Coast for a week.
Okay.
But I never made it out fishing.
Maybe next time, maybe in after Olympics. But well, speaking of you going out, you have a property in Finland, right? So you go there with an axe and a chainsaw. You consider yourself kind of an outdoor person?
Yeah, absolutely. I like nature. I like mountains. I like the ocean, the sea. I like to do stuff in nature. Yeah, I don't like cities.
No?
I don't like traffic.
No.
Yeah.
How about noise and all the excitement, like in the basketball stadium, like because that is like kind of the opposite of what's going on in the woods and stuff like that.
You know, I think as a coach, you kind of get into a zone.
Yeah.
You don't really feel that so much. I feel that more in the stands watching, but as a coach, you're kind of in a zone. You're into the game. You don't notice. You see the court, the players. You don't see stuff around it.
Yeah, really. Okay, so it's super focused.
Yeah.
Okay. So speaking about how you say focusing yourself and how you say be like in the zone, I heard actually, sorry to ask the question because it's really, I couldn't imagine if I researched it, but I heard that you lost your temper from time to time when you were a younger coach, but during the World Championship, I actually couldn't see that. You were super consistent and calm and always very reflected. So do you learn to manage your emotions when it's too much, or are you overwhelmed or something like that?
Yeah, I think sometimes when I was a younger coach, I let the emotions get the better of me.
Yeah.
And I've worked on it, and I think with the national team, except for that incident in Slovenia game, I never raised my voice one time. And I think you can demand, you can have an authority situation without yelling and screaming. And I think that goes a lot to say what kind of players we had. We didn't have to coach effort. We didn't have to coach teamwork.
Yeah.
When you have to coach effort, when you have to coach work as a team, then the emotions come out a little bit more.
I see. So because of this, you work with professional and talents and of course like very talented young people, especially in sports, they sometimes have big egos. So you actually were on stage and talked a little bit about that. So you had to take care of some situations in Asia this year. So, and you once said it's about the team and the team needs to have a mindset. So it occurred to me, so how do you manage actually big egos when you have them, made to believe in a shared mindset?
No, I use the term, I'm from a hockey background. I like players that are competitive.
Yeah.
I like players that play with energy and enthusiastic. I think and I use the term, I'd rather try to tame a lion than teach a cat how to roar.
Yeah.
I don't mind the little bit of conflicts, the competitiveness. I like that. And we'll funnel in the right direction. I'd rather have it that way than try to get guys to compete, to play hard. So, and with this, you're gonna have some conflicts. You're gonna have a little adversity.
Yeah.
But and a lot of times we create adversity as coaches because we want to see how our players respond. Are they resilient or not?
Okay, I see. But is there something or some high situations where you would draw a line, say, go no further than that?
Well, I've changed as I got older. I think I'm a lot calmer. I'm a lot more in control of my emotions, and I'd like to stay that way.
I see. We also talked about like other coaches. So you referred to other coaches on the stage as well. So we will have Thomas Tuchel, like the coach of FC Bayern Munich, here on stage as well, and he's gonna sit here as well. So do you know each other actually?
I don't know him. I've read some of the stuff he's written in books, what he said. So I look forward. I'd like to come tomorrow to hear him speak too.
Yeah. So could you actually said you how you say you speak to other coaches a lot, you exchange a little bit, and you're not how you say coaching the same way that you did in the past. Can you explain a little bit more? How did it affect you, and how do you exchange as coaches?
Yeah, I mean, I've learned from I'm not a big football fan, but I've learned from football coaches.
Yeah.
Reading what they say and things they do and this and that. So I think a lot of coaching doesn't matter if you're a basketball coach, hockey coach, football coach. You can kind of relate it to your own way of coaching. You can take things from other coaches. You can't adopt. You got to be able to adapt. And so I think you're always learning. You're always learning from other coaches, and So I think I've had a network of where I've learned from certain coaches a little bit more and discussed with certain coaches, and that's how we get better.
Okay. So when you said actually like football, you had a lot of feedback from football coaches. Why specifically football?
No, I just read some books.
Okay.
I read a book with the famous coach from Amsterdam, different coaches from different countries. So I've just kind of read what their perspective is, how they feel about leadership, different things, and that's why I read about the Bayern Munich coach a little bit. Because I think he used to coach in Mainz, if I'm not mistaken, when he was younger. Yeah, and that's where he started. So, I kind of relate to him. I like the German coach in Liverpool. So those are my two favorite coaches.
Yeah, but he also is like in control of his emotions more than now. So another thing is like it is said, or like there is a phrase out there. They say you are the father of German basketball because with your success this year's and how you did form a team actually, you made basketball way bigger in Germany. But it is still small in Germany, is like compared to other countries, don't you think?
Well, I think basketball is the number 2 sport in the world after football, and I think it has a chance to grow in Germany. I think this is a great opportunity, a great platform for basketball to grow in Germany.
Did you get like kind of any success stories that you can say, basketball got now way bigger because of like the success in September?
Yeah, I think the crowds are better in the BBL.
Yeah.
In the Bundesliga, I think there's more interest. I've heard more kids have started playing more.
That's great.
But we'll kind of see where this is in 1, 2, 3 years. If it does move forward or not.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope it does move forward. Yeah, because I think it's worth it. Because now another thing, and maybe another chance for German basketball as well, is actually like the Paris Olympic Games. They are ahead, and we have like a community out there, and we asked them recently, and there is like the acceptance of big events, and we had like Qatar, for example, or we had the Winter Olympic Games in China, and they were a lot in discussion. Now they're back in Europe, and so it's going to be a very interesting year, 2024. So what do you personally think about big mass events like this?
No, I think the Olympics is a great platform for basketball. We're going to be there, obviously. Serbia is going to be better with Jokic. The American team might be better. Canada might be better there with Jamal Murray. Australia has, 10, 12 NBA players. So it's going to be a great platform for basketball. The French team will be very good.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough competition.
So it's going to be, Greece will probably qualify with Giannis, Spain. So it could be just an outstanding platform for basketball to grow in the world.
Do you think like France, that the Olympic Games are in France next year, will be like is a good platform and like a good country to choose?
Absolutely. It's in Europe. I think it's same time change.
Yeah.
It's easy to watch games or see situations. I think when you're over in the Philippines or Manila, it's a little bit tougher for people to the time of games, the time change. So I think this is great for the whole world because everybody's within 7 hours. It doesn't matter where you are, so to speak.
That is actually like it's very smart. I never thought about that. Yes, even though the United States will have a good chance to see the games. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And even Australia and China that way too. So it's
a good thing. So speaking about the Olympics next year, how do you approach them, like psychology? Do you have like a key takeaway that you had like from this year's journey?
Yeah, we have to, before we go into the World Cup this year, we talked about 3 things we need to do better.
Yeah.
And we really stressed those things, and going to the Olympics, we'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
And, our thing is, it's our choice. Are we going to strive to get better? Or are we going to be complacent with what we did last summer?
Yeah.
It's our choice. And so that, psychologically, that'll be one of my biggest obstacles to overcome, that I can get this through to the players and that we can go forward and we have a chance to accomplish more.
Do you make yourself like a lot of pressure because of this?
No, I'm just, really, I want to enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
I want to, I've immensely enjoyed the moment, the time with this team. It's been the best moments of my life as far as a coach with this team, because of the type of players we have, and that's what we want to keep doing.
I think the team's gonna like that a lot. Because I also had to laugh because they say, so I know you share emotions, you show emotions. That was like in the movie on stage. That was interesting. Do you think yourself you don't share too much emotions?
No, I probably keep stuff inside a little bit, and sometimes I wish I wear my emotions a little bit more on my sleeve, but it doesn't come out sometimes. And I think as a coach, you got to be authentic.
Yeah. That brings me to like coming to an end. That brings me to questions. Like there is this picture, like after the last game of the championship this year, you winning, and like you said, you were looking for a chair. You didn't get, like, you don't know how you got yourself into the situation sitting on the floor. And everybody asks, what did you think at this moment?
Yeah.
Can you remember?
Yeah, people ask me that, and really, I'm not sure what I was thinking. I was just trying to gather myself and kind of really figure out what happened. Because we went boom, 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 game after game pretty quick. And I was actually looking for a chair to sit down on. I couldn't find a chair, so I sat on the floor and ended up lying down. But I couldn't really, I was just trying to kind of gather myself and gather my emotions and try to stay calm.
I can imagine. This must be very overwhelming.
Yeah, it was, even now it's kind of hard to believe what we accomplished, kind of what was sunk in.
So you're kind of glad that you now have a new mission to look forward to bring the team and guide the team into the Olympics?
Yeah, I want these guys to still, I don't talk about the Olympics with the players yet.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I want them to really kind of reflect on what we accomplished and enjoy what we accomplished and understand what we accomplished. I don't want to go ahead right yet. I'll go ahead in 2024.
Okay.
And I also want these players to focus 100% on their own team right now. Not talk about the Olympics or what's going on with them.
How frequently do you see the team members right now, actually?
No, I see them watch games and this and that, but I try to stay away from them.
Okay.
Because I want them just to focus on what they're doing right now. If they phone me and want to talk, I talk to them. Sometimes one guy might phone me for advice, or how is he playing, and just like that stuff. But I've more talked to the players that did not make the team last summer than the players who made the team.
Really?
Yeah, because I want these players to understand they're still part of the team, still part of the group that helped us qualify. We had almost 30 players playing the window that helped us qualify, and a lot of people forget about those players.
I think that's unusual, yes.
Yeah, so, in a way, we need to remember those players.
Yeah, I think they will appreciate a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's bring some kindness into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So actually, this is my last question, and we're at the end here. And the show's motto and the show's idea is actually to bring new perspective on sports. Do you think that there are new perspectives on sports like these days, or do you think we are still missing some perspectives here?
No, I think this perspectives have changed a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gone towards, I don't think it's like the NBA, but it's gone a little bit towards the NBA.
Yeah.
I think the old hardliners are aging out.
Yeah.
And the new positive communicators, relationship type coaches are coming in.
So kind of a new generation.
New generation coming in, and it'll take a little bit of time for the hardliners to age out a little bit. But even they have changed. I mean, I was a little bit of a hardliner when I started, but I've changed.
Yeah.
And I think you have to change. The landscape's changing.
Yeah.
We have to change.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to change the landscape.
I see. Yeah. You have to adapt, right?
Yeah, adapt.
Yeah. Well, Gordon, it was a pleasure to have this after-show talk with you, after-stage talk with you. Thank you so much, and enjoy the time in Munich. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.